Good morning, party people. So today we're going to build a fully functional AI SaaS in just one day. Let's get into it. Have you ever came across a YouTube channel that's literally jam? Like it's packed with super helpful videos about a topic you're interested in. But once you have a certain question, it's really hard to find a specific answer because there's so much content. You need to go through all of it in order to find that specific answer. So today, we're going to build an AI tool that will help solve that problem. I will run you through my checklist I personally use to build software, and I will show you the process.
For anyone who doesn't know me, my name is Wes, and I've been doing full stack development for over a decade now. I run my own custom software development agency, and I had the pleasure to work for some of the coolest brands on the planet.
Okay, so the first thing on the list is to define your problem, which is super important because every software you are going to build should solve a specific, very well-defined problem. And so in this video, I already briefly went over what my problem is, which is getting specific answers to specific questions on a certain YouTube channel. Now, step number 2 would be to define your solution. And this is also very important. You need to be very clear on the state you are in when the product is actually finished, when your problem is actually solved. How should it look like? You have to write it down. So for today's example, the solution would be, if I'm able to specify a YouTube channel, I'm able to write down a question, and then the solution would be that I get the answer to my question, plus a reference to the original YouTube video.
So the next thing we're gonna do is scoping. And what scoping means is we are going to very specifically write down what we need to build. So which features do we need? Which features do we don't need? And it's basically a contract on paper of all the requirements that your software will have, needs to have. And this scoping or requirement setting, whatever you want to call it, is one of the most important things when you're going to build an MVP. So now you have a problem defined and you have an idea of how a solution look like. And now you have to bridge those two together. And that is what you're going to do in the scoping. And this is an integral part of deciding what is the core of your product. Like, what is the most direct way from our problem to our solution, right? Because as an MVP, to test out your solution, your idea, you only want to build the core, like only the most necessary things. And to quote Elon Musk, the most common mistake engineers make is to optimize a thing that doesn't need to exist. And of course, we agree with Elon, and we want to try to avoid that by really scoping out the project really well. So for the MVP of today, although it's a very simple application, we're still going to go through this process. I've written down a small project structure and an overview of the high-level features that we need to build. So in short, we need to be able to input a YouTube channel and process it and get all its videos. We need to transcript and store those videos. We need to have a chat interface so we can ask a question. We need to display the answers plus the reference to the original video. And optionally, maybe we're going to do some user management as well. And then we have a more detailed breakdown of all of this where we say we need a landing page, we need a chat page, we need different API routes to accommodate those features. We need API integrations and database integrations, and we need to do a little bit of prompt stuff. It's very minimal for this app. And then we have a day one MVP plan, which we now are gonna check off things by the hour. Usually, of course, we do it by week. We work on weekly sprints, but today it's gonna be a short project. So everything's gonna be by the hour. So before we can actually start building this thing, there's one last thing to do, and that is how it's gonna look like. Now, this application is so simple that I will not spend a lot of time on that today. But how we usually do it is we first create some wireframes. So we have a broad idea on how it's going to look like, which views we'll have, which pages we'll have. Then we do a design style definition or inspiration, like which existing products, websites, apps do we like the style of, and it's kind of a mood board. See it as a mood board of which style we want to go for this project. In this specific case, it needs to be as simple as it can be, so that I have one inspiration source, which is ChatGPT. Like simple, to the point. That's the only reference we're going to use for now. And then usually we would have a designer design the thing, but because I don't have access to a designer today and this MVP is such a simple application, we're going to create some wireframes and then we're going to straight to billing.
Alright, so here are some very ugly wireframes. This episode's simple, I just drew it on paper, but this is how it basically going to look like. You have a landing page where you can fill in the link of the YouTube channel you would like to ask questions to, hit the button, we'll have some sort of loading screen, and then we'll go to this page, which is a very poor representation of. Here you have the channel name, and this needs to be a chat interface, and here you can ask your question, hit send. It's like very ChatGPT like, and then the idea is that within the answer there is a clickable link that brings you to the original video.
All right, so it's almost time to stop talking and actually start building. So we defined our problem, we defined our solution, we scoped out all the features that we need in order to go from problem to solution, and we created wireframes to have a visual sense of how it should look like. And now it's time to start building, set up the project. Before we're going to do that, I want to run you quickly through which technologies I'm using. So for both front-end and back-end, we're going to use Next.js with TypeScript. For the vector embeddings and the chatbot, we're going to use the OpenAI API. As the vector database itself, we're going to use Pinecone. For the regular database, if we do need it today, we're going to use Supabase. And we're going to use the YouTube API for the video retrieval. So yeah, that's about it. Everything we need to get started. So let's get started. Okay, so quick little update. We are now at a point where we can go to any specific YouTube channel, copy the link of the page, put it in our little landing page, and it will fetch the most recent videos of the channel and also transcribes it automatically, as you can see. And so now we have fetched all the videos, or now we are able to fetch most recent videos of a specific channel. The next step is to upload those transcripts to something that we call a vector database. A vector database is like a smart database which the AI can communicate with. So basically, if we want to give our chatbot a knowledge base, something it can reference, it needs to be in a vector database in order to communicate with each other. And that is what we're gonna do right now. We made some great progress. Let me get you a little bit closer. So I created a Pinecone database and I wrote a function that automatically uploads all the YouTube videos to the vector database in Pinecone. And what this allows us to do is, because it's in a vector database, once we query that database about a certain topic or with a certain question, the database will return us all relevant videos associated to that topic. So the vector database is doing a lot of the heavy lifting of this application. The other thing I did is I integrated ChatGPT into our app and I feeded it with the information we get from the vector database. So you can type in a question. This question goes to the vector database. The vector database gives us all relevant YouTube videos back about that topic. We give those videos to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT formulates us a great answer. So the first proof of concept is ready. Let's jump in to see how it works. So here on the right, we have the Pinecone index, which I wouldn't go too much into detail into. If you have any questions about the configuration or anything about the vector database, let me know in the comments and I will try to answer your questions. Then on the Next.js backend, I created a couple of services in order to upload all the YouTube data, fetch it again, and use it in the chatbot. So we have the Pinecone service that chunks the videos and kind of uploads them to the database, and also queries them again with a specific channel and a specific question, because we don't want to mix YouTube channels all together. We want to do one at a time. And we have a new chatbot service that gives all the YouTube videos to ChatGPT and gives an answer. So let's test it out here on the right with Alex Ramosi's channel. So first I'm gonna analyze the channel. Once that's done, this ask question bar appears, and we can ask how to become rich. And now it gives us an answer based on Alex Ramosi's latest content. Mindset shift, building a business. Obviously, building a successful business can be a significant avenue to achieve wealth. All right, so that's cool. And it also gives all the references that are used for this answer. So these are the titles of the YouTube video. Each of those are linked to the original video.
When I was 20, I wanted to be a millionaire. Now that I'm a millionaire, I want to be 20. So I saw this and it like really hit.
They're all refer back to the original video if you want to, get more into it yourself. So great progress, cool proof of concept. It kind of does everything we wanted to do. There are only two crucial parts left. One of them is there are no loading states and there are no error messages. So as you probably noticed, when I hit a button and it was loading, it were no indication that it was actually loading. So we need to fix that. And lastly, it looks terrible, as you can see. So I don't want to spend too much time on UI UX, but we need to polish it a little bit more than it currently is, because yeah, this hurts your eyes.
Iedereen scherp, want met toegang tot slimme data en insights zie je veel meer. De Giro, everyone is an investor.
Perfecto. All right, so we are finally done. We finally put all the pieces together. And this is how the end result of today is looking like. Still very minimal, of course, but it does exactly what we aimed it to do. So we are able to specify YouTube URL of the channel we want to analyze. And it's currently fetching the top 100 videos of Alex Hermosi. In this case, uploads it to the vector database. And now we can ask targeted questions based on Alex Hermosi's videos. And yeah, let's see how it does the job. So let's say, what is the value equation? It's outlined in the book, $100 million offers. Involves creating outcomes that are desirable, fast, easy, and risk-free. The equation includes components such as speed, time delay, ease, effort, and sacrifice, perceived level of achievement, risk, and dream outcome, making sure the outcome is what we want. All right, so if you're familiar with Alex Hermosi's content, that's pretty spot on. And it also lists us all the reference videos that it used to come up with this answer. So, for example, how to grow your business so fast. 2025. It feels illegal. If you click on the link,
20, 180.
it will bring you.
That's how many clients I'm going to get you, and that's how many days it's going to take me to do it.
To
The
actual
last
video
facilities
source.
I founded and sold grew so fast it felt illegal. Use Alan got to
Interesting to know if they actually talk about the value equation. I see this why we need a chatbot. And so a nice feature to add would be timestamps as well. So it doesn't only give the video, but it also gives the timestamp of where in the video they talked about this. Maybe another day. But for today, this is good enough. This was all what we wanted. It can give us specific answers to specific questions. And yeah, it's cool. We did it. We built an AI SaaS in one day. And although minimal, it hit all the requirements we need. And yeah, I'm happy.
So today we went from idea to fully functional MVP in just one day. Now, of course, this was just a fun little side project to do, but I see so often that people want to build a SaaS. They want to build too much at once. And if there is one thing I would hope you to take away from this video is that the secret to building a good MVP is not to come up with all amazing features you can build. The secret is to trim it down. Trim it down as much as you can. Keep skipping features as much as you can until you only have the core of your idea left. The one thing that makes your idea unique, that makes your idea different from all the competition, and zoom in on that unique thing and just build that. And this is one of the hardest things to do, but once you've mastered it, you can move so much quicker, you can build so much more efficient, and you can ship your first iteration of your product in days or weeks instead of months or years. And you can get this minimal product in front of potential customers, or you get it in the hands of potential investors to demo. And more importantly, you get feedback on your idea so much quicker, and you can adjust and iterate way faster. So I hope this video was helpful in any way. And if you made it this far, I appreciate you. If you have questions about anything I just talked about, please let me know in the comments, and I see you in the next one.